Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow advocates for a sustainable future. Today, we stand at a pivotal moment in human history, a moment where our actions or inaction will shape the future of our planet. The climate crisis is no longer a distant threat, it is here. It is real and it affects every corner of the globe. From raging wildfires to rising sea levels, from devastating floods to record breaking heat waves, nature is sounding the alarm, and it's getting louder. The time for climate action is now. What at stake? The global climate crisis affects not only the environment but also the livelihoods, health, and well being of millions of people. According to the latest reports by the United Nations, if we do not limit global warming to 1.5 Celsius above pre-industrial levels, we will face even more extreme and irreversible impacts. That includes the loss of biodiversity, displacement of communities, and severe food and water shortage. So, but this crisis is not just a matter of melting ice caps or endangered species. It is a human crisis. Communities in low-lying coastal areas are losing their homes to floods. Farmers are seeing their crops wither in prolonged drought, and air pollution from fossil fuels is contributing to millions of premature deaths every year. We can no longer afford to delay action. So, what must be done? The solutions to the climate crisis is clear. We must cut greenhouse gas emissions and transitions to a low carbon economy. But this requires more than just policy change or technological innovations. It requires a global shift in how we think, how we live, and how we work. First and foremost, we need to transition to renewable energy. Solar, wind, and hydropower are not just alternatives, they are the future. By investing in clean energy, we reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, which are the primary drivers of global warming. Governments must lead the way by phasing out coal, oil, and gas and prioritizing sustainable energy solutions. Second, we must shift towards sustainable agriculture and land use. Agriculture contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, yet is also one of the most vulnerable sectors to climate change. Sustainable farming practice, reforestation, and protecting natural ecosystems are essential steps to restoring balance to our planet. So, finally, we individual actions. Each of us has a role to play, whether it's reducing our carbon footprint, supporting sustainable business, or advocating for climate friendly policies. Remember, every action counts. Small steps, when multiplied by millions, can lead to massive change. The power of collective action. It is important to recognize that climate action is not just the responsibility of a few countries or industry. It is a collective responsibility that requires collaboration across borders, sectors, and generations. The Paris Agreement was a monumental step, but it's not enough. We need bolder commitments, stricter regulations, and more broader participation from all nations. We must hold governments and corporations accountable for their promise. But beyond that, we must inspire hope and drive action in our communities. Schools, workplace, and local governments are key arenas where climate solutions can be implemented. As citizens, we have the power to demand change and to make the difference. Hope for the future, the challenge before us is immense, but so the opportunity. If we act swiftly and decisively, we can not only avert the worst impacts of climate change, but we can build a world that is more just, more sustainable, and more resilient. Imagine a world powered by clean energy, where nature is preserved for future generations, and where economies thrive without destroying the environment. This vision is within our reach, but it requires all of us to act now. In conclusion, the climate crisis is a global challenge that requires global solutions. We can no longer wait for future generations to solve this problem. The time for action is now, and it starts with each one of us right here, right now. Thank you.